be perfectly honest, they both said they were kind of just making that up as they went along. Neither of them playing perfectly, but just using their natural intuition and Hearthstone experience to figure out the best plays on the fly, as FrOzen said. And yeah, they did a good job, but it was the element of imperfection that was making that game incredible as well.
Talk about imperfection. Having a pirate in your opening hand and then drawing patches the second time for JasonZhou in this series. Definitely going to feel rough. The rest of his hand, though, definitely not too bad here. You can get off a Mark of Yasharaj in the following turns to have a higher impact minion, and one often Druid isn't that capable of, or at least Jade Druid, should I say, isn't very capable of dealing with at such an early phase.
Yeah, 3-7 is not something you're having a good time against as Jade Druid, but FrOzen has teched in those Violet Teachers and that Innovate to be able to deal with this, as well as Mark of the Lotus, which is not only a combo piece for the Violet Teacher, but also increases the power of your spreading Plague turns. And through that, just thinks he picks up a few extra percentage points against these aggressive decks that he wants to play against. Remember your interview with Purple. Purple said FrOzen just wants to play against aggro Druid. That's all he wants to do.
Maybe he might have not expected his mage band out, though.
I mean, I think you're getting close to that point where you're expecting that to happen. I think FrOzen brought that deck because he recognized that it was so powerful against the field that people were going to bring, and slowly over the course of the tournament, everyone else caught up to that and went, yeah, actually he's right, I need to ban.
One of the powerful newer cards in Druid, the Branching Path. Just being able to 4-mana just cycle too. Drawing 2 cards is really good. As FrOzen gets that Violet Teacher that, you know, as you mentioned, is almost like the tech in FrOzen's deck to be able to take on more of these aggro matchups.
Now, crucially, he has the Spellstone as well, alongside branching cards again to be able to gain armor this time to increase the power of it as a removal option.
It's Swipe, Spreading Plague, and as you said, Branching Path and the Spellstone. That's a lot of great cards against aggro Druid. Here comes the Spreading Plague. At worst, it's going to soften these minions up to make Swipe a stronger play, or maybe even Violet Teacher and just the Spellstone as a removal. You know, there's a lot of directions FrOzen can go in terms of just trying to shut JasonZhou down.
And there you see the power of Innovate, even in its new 1-mana form. Jason played out low attack minions that turn, played out a Dire Mold, just dropped to 1-3 because he was not scared of Spreading Plague yet, and there it came down a turn early for the punish.
Yeah, that's it. Spreading Plague, an exceptionally powerful card on 6. When you can use it with the coin, which is effectively what Innovate is, just an extra coin or 2 in your deck. Can't really play around that. Very similar to the way people play Coining Rogue, say Bone Mare turn, for example. JasonZhou does have the almost backup living mana available just in case this board does get cleaned up. But also, we kind of talked about the merits of, do you actually just extend your board with living mana as opposed to just wait until the board's clear and then go use it for the refill? Both definitely have upsides.
Yeah,
but sure. Timing is crucial, I would say.
FrOzen now staring at a slightly awkward hand. This is a hand that has to fight through the board state that he's looking at and a living mana before he's able to really find any stabilization. It's not looking like he has all the tools to do all that just yet.
He has a couple of options, like Violet Teacher with the double Spellstone, even though they are very low, can get some work done and generate some tokens for yourself, or could even be just Branching Paths for armor, and then use the Spellstones to remove 2 of the bigger minions, the Crab and the Spider there. That would set up for Violet Teacher next turn. I don't think he has to worry too much about Branching Paths in terms of more card draw because he has that Ultimate Infestation. He just needs to make sure he can get to the Ultimate Infestation to refill his hand.
I like the Violet Teacher double Spellstone play because from what he can see, the Violet Teacher can't be dealt with. He has to go through the 1-2, and then he only has 3 damage remaining, so even a hero power afterwards doesn't take care of this Violet Teacher.
Also as well, the flexibility of if the Violet Teacher's dealt with, it's unlikely that the 1-1s are dealt with, and even at worst, you could double Branching Paths for attack, right, and just trade up with those 1-1s.
Or even, you know, those 1-1s are just little extra tools that you can use to create swipe.
Yeah, exactly. It's just so flexible, those tokens.
Right.
And now we see JasonZhou committing with a living mana, because he has 2. This is scary. Second Ultimate Infestation not what FrOzen wanted here. Needed pretty much any other card in his deck at this point.
Swipe looks nice though. What it doesn't kill, it softens up to the point where the 1/1s again that he's creating this turn will be able to trade into them.
FrOzen wouldn't do for 1/1 mana this turn. Just to be able to Branching Paths and swipe. Effectively 14 damage represented on board here without a buff, of course. But that, you know, there's plenty of mana. Power of the Wild and Mark of the Lotus and Savage Roar are all just for FrOzen. JasonZhou picks it up.
Gives a 4th crystal back to Jason, but not a 5th, which is actually incredibly crucial given the contents of his hand. He would have already had 3 on the pass back anyway, which means that you know, he would have been able to play any given buff in his hand. FrOzen somehow manages to deny the 2nd living mana coming down there, which is huge for him.
Yeah, like, as we can see, there's no game for FrOzen next turn. He needs something amazing off the top, or Branching Path needs to get some work done. If he allowed JasonZhou to just freely refill the board, he would be in trouble for his 8 mana turn.
Hello.
Does get him to Ultimate Infestation next turn.
Stabilize. Try and rely on these UIs to find his way back into the game, step by step.
A good card. It's actually insane.
Living mana is too, Raven.
Which one's better? We decide now.
I think the play here is fairly straightforward. FrOzen has telegraphed Ultimate Infestation this turn, so the last thing you want to do is play a 7 mana 5/5 into it, even if it's good.
Yeah, there really is no need. There was no need to ramp at all if you had any other game plan apart from playing Ultimate Infestation. The worry here for FrOzen is UI is a really strong play. Drawing more cards, gaining some armor, and create 5/5. He removes 1 minion from the board of 7. But JasonZhou is surely deserving of at this point in the game, because we've just not seen any of the board-wide buff.
Oh, there it
Couldn't
is.
come down. Yes, yep.
The one remaining Spreading Plague is found off the first UI.
Also, Oaken Summons as well is just solid, even just for armor, worst case scenario at this point. Just any more armor to push you further and further out the range, and the mana cost of Oaken Summons means FrOzen can squeeze it into these turns, right? It's not like a Spreading Plague that reduces your quality to get down a little bit.
Crucial for Jason now to get some high impact minions in play, because he knows FrOzen is now going to be able to cycle through his deck very, very quickly. Even if the Spreading Plague was not there, there could be the 2nd Nourish, there could be the 2nd UI. There are other ways that FrOzen can use to dig through his deck and then find that 2nd Spreading Plague.
Can JasonZhou get there at this point? I think he just needs to draw a buff next turn. Something huge needs to happen, because Spreading Plague into that Oaken Summons I mentioned a little bit earlier. Probably the best turn FrOzen could want at this point, especially with the Branching Paths gone.
Bandrel, I believe. Yep, there it is. The one remaining minion left in the deck with 1 teacher played, 1 teacher drawn.
And nowhere Ironwood Gold in the deck.
Not played. That's the Violet Teacher spot in FrOzen's deck, and then Mark of the Lotus is coming in for Wrath, I guess you would say, in comparison to the conventional Jade Druid list.
Turn not feeling too great. JasonZhou. Double captain. Yeah, they buff each other. It's kind of a buff. Not what you want to do when you can barely scratch these taunts that are in the way for you this turn. And now FrOzen can fully focus on clearing up this board any way he sees fit. He can play the Violet Teacher to get more tokens. There's the 2 Wild Growths that now serve as card draw at this point, and spells that will buff even more tokens onto the board. And that swipe pickup allows him to do almost whatever he wants this turn.
I'm ready to learn.
Yeah, I think the swipe is a good choice here. If he just deals with this one wave of minions, he has won the game. He's got Jade Behemoth to fall back on after this point, which will be making 4-4 Jades, but that doesn't matter anymore. FrOzen